As Samuel got older, his sons did not follow in his ways and were not trusted by the people. The people went to Samuel and told him they wanted to have a king rule over them, just like their neighbors. Samuel was displeased that the people had asked for a king. God said to Samuel, "They are not rejecting you, but they are rejecting me." God told Samuel to tell the people that if they chose the path of kingship, the king would be their master and he would make them work as slaves. The people told Samuel they wanted a king anyway, so God told Samuel to give them a king. Now, Saul and his buddy wandered the countryside looking for his father's missing donkeys, but unfortunately, the donkeys outsmarted them. They decided to go ask the seer if he knew where the donkeys were. Samuel was the seer. Now, Samuel already knew that Saul was on his way, and God told Samuel that Saul was to be ruler of Israel. Samuel told Saul not to worry about the donkeys, they had been found. Samuel told Saul that he was the desire of all Israel, and Saul was confused and pointed out the low rank of his Benjamite family. He was also from Gibeah, the scene of the nasty incident that sparked the civil war at the end of the book of Judges. But Samuel put together a feast for Saul and his friend, and Samuel anointed Saul's head with oil before sending him on his way. 3 signs were given to Saul to confirm his calling. The donkeys were found, Saul met 3 men and was given 2 loaves of bread, and Saul met a band of prophets and became possessed by the Spirit of God and prophesied. The text explains that this event is one reason why the Israelites had a saying, "Is Saul also among the prophets?" Saul kept quiet to his family about his new role as king, but later Samuel had all the people gathered together for the inauguration of Saul as king of Israel. But Saul was nowhere to be found. He was hiding because he was afraid. But the people pulled him from his hiding place and shouted, "Long live the king!" The festivities were interrupted with the word that Nahash, king of the Ammonites, had attacked the city of Jabesh-Gilead. The people of Jabesh-Gilead were Saul's cousins. Nahash tried to gouge out the right eye of every man in the land, but Saul came to their rescue and defeated Nahash in battle. Now, some Israelites had previously mocked Saul, and after Saul's victory, the people wanted to kill them, but Saul spared their lives. At this point, Samuel officially sets up Saul as king over Israel. Later, Saul's son Jonathan fights a successful battle against the Philistines, and Saul takes credit for the battle. But the Philistines mustered their armies to attack Israel again, and the people fled and hid in caves. Saul and his army waited 7 days for Samuel to show up and give them God's instructions, but Samuel didn't show up right away. So Saul took on Samuel's role and made sacrifices to God in order to figure out what to do next. Just as Saul had finished making the offerings, Samuel showed up, and Saul made excuses. Samuel told him that he had done a very foolish thing and that his dynasty would not last forever because of his unfaithfulness. After Saul's first failure, he took 600 men back to Gibeah. Saul and Jonathan were the only people with weapons as the Philistines were preparing to attack, but Saul just sat around under a pomegranate tree. Jonathan and his armor-bearers sneaked away from Saul and crossed over a canyon to where the Philistines were at. The Philistines attacked them, but Jonathan and his armor-bearer began slaughtering them. The text says that God caused the Philistines to panic and that the ground began to shake. Meanwhile, Saul had made a rash vow, forbidding the people to eat any food under penalty of death. Saul was caught off guard by the sound of battle, but joined in as well, only to find the Philistines killing themselves in confusion. After the battle, Jonathan ate some honey because he didn't know about his father's vow. The people told Jonathan about the vow, and Jonathan told them that what his father had told him was stupid. The people refused to let Saul kill his son Jonathan for breaking the fast, which is similar to Jephthah's vow, but with a different outcome. Later, Samuel told Saul to go completely destroy the Amalekites. Saul was victorious in battle, but he failed to destroy everything. He kept the livestock for himself, and he kept King Agag alive. God said to Samuel, "I regret that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions." Samuel cried bitter tears before he went to confront Saul. When Saul saw Samuel approaching, he said, "Look, I did what God said." And Samuel asked him about the livestock, and Saul blamed the soldiers. He said they were actually planning on making a sacrifice later, and he said they had completely destroyed everything else, but Samuel stopped him and rebuked him for pouncing on the plunder. Saul again tried to say that they would eventually get around to sacrificing. Samuel responds by saying, "To obey is better than sacrifice, for rebellion is like the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king." Saul begged for forgiveness and grabbed a hold of Samuel's robe and tore it as Samuel was turning to leave. And Samuel said, "The Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today and has given it to one of your neighbors, to one better than you." And then Samuel had to go kill Agag himself.